Hi, Achim here from InnerSpace Explorers. Today, I would like to talk a little bit more about the BE, the basics of exploration, and its content, because I've been teaching this weekend and ran into a discussion with a couple of other divers, and I found that pretty interesting, and I wanted to share that. Before I get into it, if you like my content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you subscribe to the channel, hit that little notification bell so you get an information when I upload new content, which normally is once a week. At the moment, it's a bit hard actually moving, and so that takes obviously a lot of time. And some of my equipment is stored, and that's why the last couple of weeks were a little bit difficult. Anyway, this week I've been teaching, and I was teaching at BOE, and it was in an indoor dive center. And so obviously a lot of people were watching what we were doing, and we were running through a circle of basics. So for those of you who are not familiar with the ISE program and the basics of exploration in particular, that's an exercise where you basically run through all of your equipment in 6 steps. And the key point of this exercise is that you have to maintain perfect buoyancy, you have to position yourself, and you have to be in proper trim, otherwise you can't do it, which means you're horizontal, you're stable, you don't move, you don't swim, etc. You're just on that spot and you don't go up and down. And then you remove your mask and you remove your regulator and get the spare regulator and the light and so on and so on. That's not the point. So obviously for the people watching, that was quite impressive. And so they started to talk and they started to ask, why are you doing this and this and that? And what type of course is this? And I started to explain a little bit, and then they tried and failed, most of them pretty hard, some of them so la la. But it was interesting to see that most of them couldn't really do it, and it was divers from all levels. There were beginners, advanced divers, a couple of people with side mount rigs, so some sort of technical divers. There was one instructor, and they all struggled with this exercise. And most of it was actually positioning, but also the other stuff was taking up the mask, clearing it, getting it back on without hitting the ground or going to the surface, stuff like that. And it wasn't 4 meters of water in this indoor dive center. And then afterwards, we've been sitting for a tea and chatting a little bit. And then most of them said, yeah, this is super interesting, but I mean, that's technical. Is it? What's technical about that? So we've been in single tanks. There was nothing technical on us at all. And then I said, look, I mean, it doesn't matter which dive organization, because I initially, when I planned this video, I thought I'd take one of the manuals and go through it, but I didn't want to push this towards a certain agency or bash any agency or whatever. But it doesn't matter if it's PADI, SSI, CMAS, whatever they are named. I mean, you go through the open water or the beginner manual. There will be a chapter that says you should be neutrally buoyant. There is a chapter that says you should be in a more or less horizontal position. And there will be exercises and probably a theoretical chapter about your propulsion techniques, right? So this is all beginner stuff. And if you master these 3 skills, along with being able to clear your mask and purge your regulator and whatever, you should be able to perform this exercise. So what's wrong that 95% of the people I meet can't do it? I rarely have a student that can simply perform this exercise when I show it. So even if there are people that do it quite well and then obviously master it throughout the course, I basically never have anybody who's like, no problem, I can do that. And especially people that are on a more advanced level, that should be second nature. I mean, that's like learning how to walk before you think about going for a dance class, right? I mean, you need to have the basics. So I cannot see why this is technical or related to technical diving or skills that you need only when you go for technical diving. And obviously, as these people were obviously interested in what they saw and they wanted to try, and they realized that looks beautiful to a certain extent and looks smooth and fluent and looks so much better than hopping around in this pool on their knees or whatever they did there, indicates that this is interesting and probably makes diving more fun and more safe and better for the environment. The list is endless. But yeah, I just couldn't get over the fact that everybody was like, yeah, that's technical diving. No, it's not. It's basics. And if you think now, can I do this? I'll link a video. Probably I'll just edit it in. Yeah, I'll make it's probably right behind me talking how this exercise looks. And then think about, ask yourself, am I able to do this? And if you're not, honestly, not showing off anything, just you in front of a mirror, you somewhere in the water, and you can't do it, you should question your education, you should question your training, and probably do something for it. So if you want to comment on that, please feel free. I'm looking forward to it. If you want to discuss it a bit more in detail, check out my Patreon site. And other than that, have a lot of fun in the water trying the circle of basics. Bye-bye.